That's what happened to me with the quantumizer. It's like I just had this information that's inherently in me somehow, and all I've done is followed my feelings, and it's led me into quantum sciences and through the doorway of the laws of general relativity, and at the same time as that, about 2 years ago, Nazim Haramein started to come on the scene. Like, obviously he's been around in the background for quite some time, but I mean, he started to come to the forefront of social media at around the exact same time, because literally, and it was over Instagram, and he was literally just started up over social media. There was like hardly any followers or anything, and I said this to him months ago. I said that it's like we've both came into the forefront of things within our particular realms at the same time, and then we've both ended up coming to the same conclusions of a lot of things. And he's totally down with the whole graviton theory. I don't know, graviton's what I've named it. Named the particle, but technically it's not a particle, is it? It's a singularity micro black hole opening, but it's the same. We've got the same following and belief in the physics, and we've just coincided naturally. It's uncanny. But that relativity wormhole gateway of a somehow inherent, inbuilt knowledge that I've somehow gained, is also, right, the same technology the aliens are using. I already know it. I already know it in me that's the principles for the same technology that the aliens are coming here, because they're coming from different dimensions of relativity, aren't they? Right? Different frequency bandwidths. So it makes sense that quantumizer really is the doorway to fucking like loads of stuff, right? Loads, including like gateway technology and stuff. But it also means that we'll be able to create our own quantum bubble of relativity that you could have I'm sure of it. It's the same as what the aliens use. Basically, it's the same principles and everything, and they're going to be more spiritually. The ones that are from other dimensions are going to be more spiritually attuned, because it's vehicles that deal with relativity, right? So you need to be able to have the spiritual know thyself recognition, as well as the mind, to be able to gauge that form of transportation, because it's like you're tapping into the energies of you, and your energies become one with that bubble of relativity. You coincide with the energies, right? Because you need to, don't you? Otherwise, you're either going to die, or it's not going to happen for you, is it? You know what I mean? So you need to have that gauging with what's going on to be able to utilize it. And the mad thing is that what that means is that if my feelings are correct on this, that we're going to come into contact with many different kinds of races, and they're all going to have their own relativities of frequency. Some of them are going to be coinciding with the others, and they're going to be within the same dimensions and stuff. But there's also going to be ones that are from different dimensions where they probably do still coincide with the other ones because they're travelling through their own different relativities, the other relativities. So they'll be like, well, we need to go to Proxima, Proxima B relativity. So they'll switch to that bandwidth, and they'll probably go into like a meditative type state at the same time and connect to their source and free their mind. And then that enables themselves to be transported through a relativity bubble gateway, and then they'll reopen their eyes and their minds, and they're in a different space-time, a different dimensional space-time. And what utilises it is its emotion. It's tapping into the infinite love that's inside of us, right? Like the star inside of us, it's coming into that conscious place, the self, of self-awareness, because that, right, is everything, right? What I experience, our soul is connected to fucking everything, right? Which is why it fucking blew my mind, right? But that's the gateway. The soul is the gateway to everything, right? So that's what they're doing, is they're connecting to their essence, because their essence is the doorway to everything. And then, so that they're connecting they're simultaneously with the craft that's connecting to these energy fields, and they're allowing themselves to also connect to these other relative dimensions of energy field. And it's the emotion. The emotion is the gateway, because you think about it, what I experienced was infinite love inside of me that's connected to everything, everybody, yeah. So if it's like that, then it means that there's infinite possible relativities of dimension that can come out of it, isn't there? Because it's just so fucking much more than what we're seeing. We're seeing a tiny little slither, basically, compared to like the fucking universe. So that's what's going on. They're using the soul spirituality as the gateway source, essentially, of relativity, while the mechanism itself that they're inside of creates the same bubble of resonation field for them to then travel to this given emotional plane, because that's what it is, isn't it? It's emotion, energy, emotion, different bandwidths, different frequencies, vibrations. So that's what's going on, that's what they're doing. So when you go to these different realms, essentially what's going to happen is your heart chakra is going to balance into it's going to polarize a new electromagnetic field realm of energies, and you're going to feel fucking exhilarated to some extraordinary level. So even when you travel, it's going to be fucking amazing, right? The feelings and everything, it's just going to be wow. And then when you arrive in these different realms, it's going to be a different vibration for your heart chakra to take on board, right? And when that happens, you're going to be giddy, or you're going to be in a different plane of emotion, aren't you? So you might go to one and you're going to feel constantly like you're on ecstasy or something, you know what I mean? You're just going to be a continuous buzz, but it's just going to be the norm. Just be the norm there. And maybe you'll get acclimatized to it, but maybe you won't, and you'll only be able to visit there for an hour or two, and then you'll have to go back, because it will be maybe potentially start to get a bit of a health risk for you, because you're operating on a completely different fucking realm, right? There's that to think about, but at the same time, right, if you go into a different frequency realm, you're going to be in a different state of consciousness as well, aren't you? You might even fucking expand your fucking consciousness. So you go into these other fucking dimensions, and you go, and suddenly you're holy shit. I've got 30% conscious now instead of my usual 10, 12, 15% or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, so suddenly you're much more alert, aware of everything, and it will be just like, wow, you probably want to stay there. You know what I mean? You probably won't want to come back to here. You'll be like, no, this is loads better. I can sense more, I can hear more. It'll unlock telepathic capabilities, so you won't even need to speak to the aliens, because suddenly you're like, you can hear them in your head, and then you can reply to them in their head as well, because you've just like, you've got the clairaudience and the telepathy to be able to do so within these other bandwidths, right? So that's what's coming, which is going to be fucking awesome. So that's what my take is. That's kind of what's around the corner, and what we've got to look forward to in our lifetimes, for the with humanity and these extraterrestrials.